unapologetic liberal talk. It's Tarabuster with Tara Devlin.
All right, it is. Hold on. I can't find the button. It's Tarabuster. Hello, everybody. Welcome. How's it looking? How's it sounding? Thank you, Jim. Nice to see you first in the chat. I heard there was a big party here. Yes, Jim, there will be a big party. We will be raided soon by Hal Sparklers. Andrea from the Hal Spark Show is coming on, but that's not until 9. I'm just checking my microphone here. Things seem a little loose. I hope I don't lose my microphone. Hold on, I'm just moving it. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, we meet here every Friday. This is our Friday night gathering. Thank you for hanging out. 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And whatever, you know what. I'm just so tired. I'm tired. I've been sitting here all day. My ass hurts, my back hurts, my soul hurts. It's all good. I'm not complaining. Just sharing and caring. Let's see, where do we begin? Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. That's where we begin, for keeping the show going and growing. I appreciate Charlie sent me an article earlier, and hopefully we'll go through it. If not today, another day. We'll see how it goes. That's why I wanted to start a little early, but the day got away from me. But and Charlie has APS Radio and APS Radio News, so check out APS Radio, classic rock and oldies all day long, and APS Radio also has a classical music station, and that's something you need. Just put on the nice classical music and Calgon Take Me Away. Really. So, yes, so thank you. And thank you for your support of the community cats. And that's brings me to, I guess this is a good story to start with. Sometimes I don't know where to begin. There's just so much going on in the world, and of course we can't get to it all. But one of the things that right before, I guess earlier in the day, I came across this. I live in New York. I should have been more on point with it, but I wasn't paying attention to local news, I have to say, as much as the more national and international news. And, well, every year there's something called the Inner Circle. It happens in New York. It's sort of like the White House press corps, whatever they had, the correspondence dinner. It's like that, where the local news and the reporters, the politicians get together and they put on a show. I actually got to go to it once because when I was working for Court TV, that was a long time ago, and one of my friends was in it, Beth Karras. She was in the Inner Circle, so I got to go and watch, and it was amazing. It was fun, and it's because they really do it up like Broadway style. I mean, this is New York, so they at the time, I'm trying to remember, I think it was, what's his name? It was Bloomberg was the mayor, and they mock each other. They make fun of each other. That's the whole point of the thing. It's just they take one night out of the year and they let down their hair. All right. I have opinions on this, as I have on everything. I do believe that maybe the press and the politicians shouldn't be palling around. There's a human aspect to it, which is that when you hang out with your friends, if you make friends of the politicians, if you're a journalist and you're making friends with the people you're supposed to be reporting on, you might pull your punches if you see something that maybe is a little bit unsavory if you're someone's friend, right? So that's my opinion on that. But anyway, that's not the point of the story. The point is Curtis Sliwa and Zohran Mamdani. I'm sorry, I have a hard time getting words out of my mouth sometimes, as you know. Our great mayor of New York City, Mamdani. It's very hard for me to say that word. I'm just saying it right out front. I'm very sorry. It's one of those that gets stuck in my mouth. So, Mamdani. I know it shouldn't be that hard. It's really not that hard. It's me. I have a slight speech impediment. It's very annoying. I'm sorry, but just thank you for your understanding. But so Curtis Sliwa was the well, he wasn't the Republican. Well, was he the? Now it's all coming back to me. He was the Republican candidate, but all the Republicans wanted Cuomo. That's right. See, all the madness. Every day is like a year now, and the madness of the times that we live in. Nobody wanted Cuomo. The Democrats, the real Democrats, didn't want Cuomo. Go away, Cuomo. That's one of the most delicious things that our great mayor did, was that he defeated the Cuomo dynasty. Well, anyway, apparently, according to Republicans, Curtis Sliwa was because they everything is a conspiracy. They have conspiracies up the wazoo. It must be very tiring for Republicans. They're always everyone's always there's some elites. There's a cabal. That there's people who are conspiring against them under every rock, all to distract from the actual conspiracy that goes on, which we talk about on the show, which is make the rich richer, divide and conquer, especially along racial lines, to make the rich richer, to destroy pesky democracy once and for all. Well, according to Republicans, Curtis Sliwa was the spoiler. He was actually in on it. He was in with Mamdani, and he was there to take votes away from the great Andrew Cuomo, who nobody wanted. Really nobody wanted. You saw how, his, the polling. Who the hell wanted Cuomo except for Chuck Schumer, right? Jesus Christ, on a bike. Go away. So they did a skit together, and one thing I have to tell you, that you know me, I'm a big animal lover, and I see my little American flag lapel pin is askew, akimbo. Let me fix that. And I do appreciate the fact that Curtis Sliwa is also a great animal lover, a great animal rescuer, supporter. He works with cats. He has, personally, I think he has around 18 cats himself. I don't know where he lives. He must live in a bigger house than I do. But he's very highly involved in the animal rescue community. And I appreciate that, even though I do not agree with him politically in any sense. Really, I don't. He seems like a pretty nice guy, which to me it is kind of confusing, because I always think that, well, what's wrong with you? Why are you a Republican? You're too nice to be a Republican. But maybe one day I'll get to sit down with him and we can discuss. Really, he doesn't seem like too much of a lost cause. But anyway, he got together with Mamdani, and I'm just trying to pull it up here. Where is it? See, they also, the ECAM changed their icons, so I'm having even a harder time finding the buttons because they changed the interface. It's like, thanks, ECAM. Everything is different. Oh, no, that's the baboon. That's not. We'll get to the baboon. Trust me. Don't we always? When is that great getting up morning? Right? When? God. How old is that guy? Now, 80? Jesus Christ. Have another bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Hurry up. Hurry up, baboon. Jesus, take the wheel. All right, so this is the. Well, oopsie.
My name is Dr.
This is the skit.
Sliwa.
Dr. Sliwa, you said?
Yeah, Dr. Cleveland. I'm looking at your name here on the chart. I don't even want to try to pronounce it. Hey, is it okay if I just call you the Z-Man?
Yeah, that's fine. You look very familiar, though.
Were you ever riding the trains in the wee hours of the morning from like 1980 to 1991?
I wasn't, how do you say this, Dr. Sliwa, alive.
Okay, young buck. So you're here for a cat allergy shot, huh?
Yes, sir. My wife and I are adopting a cat.
It never stops with one or two. Oh, no, it doesn't. Mm-hmm. My name is Dr.
All right, that's just a small clip. Hold on a second. So the whole skit is about he goes to see a doctor for cat allergies because they're adopting a cat. And, okay, very cute, very nice. Nothing to see here. What's the big effing deal except that the Republicans had a meltdown over it. You know, these are the snowflakes that are always like, oh, drinking our tears and F your feelings and all this. But what are they getting upset about? You see, liberals, we get upset when, well, I'll speak for myself. I get upset when I see someone who can't afford health care or has to go on GoFundMe to beg for insulin, right? In the richest country on earth. I get upset when I watch a tax-cheating, draft-dodging, wannabe dictator, con man, baboon send a mob to defecate and urinate in the halls of the Capitol. That's when I get upset. You know, and then 72 million Americans shamefully put him back in office. That's when I get upset. I don't get upset over some skit at the inner circle. But you know what they're upset about? They're upset that Sliwa got together with Mamdani and made and just I guess shared the same air, shared the same space. Because you're supposed to hate Mamdani, right? You're a Republican. You're supposed to vilify him. You're not supposed to humanize each other, right? You're not supposed to treat each other with any kind of humanity. How are they ever going to advance their kiss up, kick down agenda if you're hanging out with Mamdani like he's a human being? You see, that's the problem they have with the skit. And it's not me diagnosing them. This is what they're saying. Okay? For example, a billionaire GOP donor, what's his name? John, forget this, Katsamatidis. You know who I'm talking about. He's a real kook. He was a mayoral candidate in 2013, and he's just he's a maggot, of course, but he said, his quote was, "I'm very disappointed. Now we understand why he was criticizing Andrew Cuomo. Why Sliwa was criticizing Andrew Cuomo. First of all, Andrew Cuomo is supposed to be a Democrat, right? He was. Well, we all know that's bullshit, too. He's a Democrat like Kristen Sinema and Manchin, to the Manchin born, as our good friend Robin Kincaid calls him, Joe to the Manchin born. Then there's, let me tell you who, Katsamidis. He's a real freak, a real Republican freak. Let's see, where is, I had a list of him. And the thing is, it's because he's a socialist, but we'll get to that in a second, because the Republicans, they vilify socialism. They vilify the word. Americans like socialist policies, that's for sure. They really do. And the fact that Mayor Mamdani is an open socialist, calls himself a democratic socialist, as I do, call myself, and that will reduce the ability for Republicans to demonize socialism in general. And what is socialism? It's regulating business, regulating corporations so they don't treat you like just a host from which to suck profit and discard, and treat our environment like that, and our communities and our country. And it's a strong social safety net. What's the problem with that? Well, that stands in direct contradiction to the Republican agenda, which is roll back the American Revolution. So Katsamadidis, he's got a long record of saying and doing things that can be generously called reactionary and bigoted, right? Casually bigoted. He's a mega donor on the right wing. He routinely goes on TV. He bashes taxes in general, of course, because, you know, that's their only, I guess, agendas. They don't want to pay. They don't want to pay the fair share. They don't want to pay the price of admission to a civilized society. That's our duty. They want to ride on our backs, a free ride, just like everything. It's like what we're seeing with the baboon. He's a tax cheating, draft dodging, wannabe dictator, con man. So, suckers and losers. You send the suckers and losers to fight your battles, your illegal war of distraction from the fact that you're all over the Epstein files committing crimes against children. And the suckers and losers pay the taxes. The suckers and losers fight the wars. They die in the wars. And when they die, you get to fundraise with a picture of yourself giving a stolen valor salute over a flag-draped coffin. So it's a win-win. And then your ill-gotten, or your spawns take their ill-gotten gains and they get to bet on Polymarket. Because, you know, of course, you're going to whisper to them when the next strike is going to happen, or who's going to get hit and where's it going to go and blah, blah, blah. So, hey, this is what we're dealing with. So, I mean, you would think that John Katsamatidis would, maybe he should get upset about that, about war profiteering, not that Mamdani and Curtis Sliwa shared a room, the same room together, the same air, and didn't come to blows. It's because, you know, you see how they're poisoning society. This is what's happening. They have so poisoned this country that we're not supposed to sit in the same room now. You don't see Democrats getting upset about this skit, because we have other things to worry about, frankly. I haven't seen, because I was looking it up. Are there any Democrats criticizing Mamdani for getting in the same room or being in the same skit with Curtis Sliwa? Of course there aren't, because we have better things to do. In fact, it's a breath of fresh air, to tell you the truth. Because aren't you? I don't know about you, but I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the fauxrage about nothing. Right? Over nothing, over bullshit. Let's be outraged legitimately about the things that we should legitimately be outraged over. Not doing a skit with someone who happens to be of a different party. Who cares? Right? So, but this John Katsamadidis, he goes on all the right-wing podcasts and all. Hold on, I'll lower this a little bit. Be right back. This is Tara Devlin. Oh, brother. And he goes on all of right-wing media to rail against socialist policies, right? Well, he sits on a grocery and real estate fortune, apparently. And he also, he's one of them. He threatened to move his supermarket empire out of New York or slash jobs if Mamdani was elected mayor. And now he's threatening to slash jobs if the city raises taxes on him or pursues some kind of worker-friendly policy that he doesn't agree with. You see, that's the agenda for Republicans. Never enough for them, right? You got rich. You made your supermarket. And if you can't, I mean, there used to be a common understanding in America. It was part of the American dream that if you can't pay a living wage in decent working conditions, then you don't get to have a business in this great country, in the greatest, so-called the greatest country on earth, right? That's part of the bargain, the social compact. You want to have a business? See, but that's not what Republicans want. They want exploitation. They can't seem to make a buck unless they can put their boot on your neck and you have nothing to do, no ability to do anything about it. That's supposed to be, that's the American dream now. Just accumulate as much money as you can, step on as many people as you can, exploit, use our environment, our infrastructure, our what's left of the social safety net, use that as you know, just suck profit from it as much as you can, just use it. Don't contribute to it. Don't pay your fair share into it. And whine and bitch and moan if anybody tries to raise your taxes by 3%. See, there's no patriotism in that at all. What's patriotic about that? Leaving people behind? I got mine, sucks to be you. And this guy, he's so unhinged. This is the guy that is going on about, going all over the place, whining about this skit as a betrayal. And now we know where Curtis Sliwa stands, and we were right. The conspiracy, he undermined Andrew Cuomo, which says everything about that too, about establishment Democrats. Right? When you have the likes of John Katzimatidis flipping out that Andrew Cuomo didn't get elected, then yeah, it's time for the Democratic Party, the corporate wing of the Democratic Party, to pound sand. Well, he's this unhinged. He literally compared raising taxes on the wealthy to, quote, how Hitler punished the Jews. That's what we're dealing with. That's the kind of sickness we're dealing with in the Republican Party. Trivializing the Holocaust, to whine about progressive taxation. I don't think those two live in the same house, so to speak. He also complained that his daughter's NYU Stern graduating class was scary because many of the students were Asian. All right. Then he followed it up with a comment that he wanted to deport most of these kids that his child was going to school with. Nice guy. But he's pissed off, right? Because they had a skit. And first of all, the other thing is, who sees these skits anyway? Not many people. Usually it's just for insiders. It's for media insiders and the political establishment. I guess now it's getting more notice because of social media. They posted these clips on social media. But what's actually giving it more attention is the meltdown, is the Republican meltdown. to it. So, oh my God, Tara Jr., go away. I can't with him today. Go lay down. Go lay down. He's like scratching my leg. Like the whole time I'm on the show, he's like, go lay down. Please, I love you. I love him, but I can't. He starts biting my hand. He starts biting the microphone. Go lay down. He's not listening to me. So, here's Mamdani had a comment about they we have shit to do. And we have to interrupt our regularly scheduled program at this press conference to deal with the bullshit. The Republicon melting down over a skit.
Or others like David Patterson, who seem to think that your inner circle skit with Curtis Sliwa proves that you were engaged in some kind of conspiracy.
Thank you very much. I think the only conspiracy that's on offer is two people who have a sense of humor and are willing to poke fun at themselves. And, we reached out to Curtis and asked him if he'd be willing to be a part of a sketch where he played a cat allergist doctor. And we shot that sketch, and I think that what New Yorkers want to see is a city where we can vehemently disagree with each other and also still know that we live in the same city. And a sense of humor, I think, is a prerequisite to being a New Yorker. And all of these people who can't distinguish between a sketch and reality, I think it shows some of the problems they're having with their politics.
There you go.
What do you
right?
say to Republicans?
Makes perfect sense. It's really their problem. And it goes to show us who Republicans are. They don't want us to get together. They don't want to have a more perfect union. They don't want to, have us, they don't want to promote the general welfare, that's for sure. They don't want us to even associate with each other. And I've been saying it for years. Haven't I? Jim on the chat and everyone who's been here since the beginning. That the whole Republican project is to divide and conquer, especially along racial lines. They'll take any fissure of disunity. So we can't make a more perfect union. And they destroy pesky democracy once and for all. That's the Republican project. And as far as, and they're psycho when it comes to, socialism, first of all. Because like we say, see, here's the thing. Every time they talk about socialism on the corporate media, we've heard this before, especially when Bernie Sanders was running for president, for the Democratic nominee. I would go fucking apeshit when on the corporate media all the time when during the primary they would say Americans don't like socialism, they just don't like socialism. Then they would have a poll. Socialism polls worse than, whatever, roaches or head lice or whatever the fuck, right? And they would put this up without even explaining what socialism is. And because the truth is, and that's propaganda right there. That's how propaganda works, because all they do is vilify the word, and they put a microphone in front of everyone's, all their man on the street. They go into these places and they put microphones in front of people's faces, and they assume that the American people, who are the least informed, it's actually, I have to look this up, because the American people used to be the second least informed population in the Western democratic world, only lower than we were second from Italy. They were the least informed, and we were the second. I have a feeling we probably surpassed them. That was years ago. So you're putting a microphone in front of people's faces who have been under a a relentless campaign of propaganda for, I don't know, 30, 40 years and longer than that, where they've been told, you know, socialism is the devil, and socialism is basically, it's communism, it's Stalin, it's Pol Pot, but the American people, it's not. They don't realize that it's not socialism, that they actually like socialism, that in fact right now only 49% of Americans, young people ages 18 to 34, have a positive view of capitalism. Given all of capitalism's PR, we are constantly told, you know, that capitalism is so wonderful, yet the only thing democratic socialism is it's capitalism with a highly regulated, playing field, basically, and a strong social safety net. That's why the Scandinavian countries are the happiest countries on earth, because they seem to have figured that out. So, and right now, Americans, of course, you know, the view of capitalism has plunged, but Republicans use the word socialism as a fear word for any policy that actually redistributes power, not just wealth, power and money to the people who spend money, right? Even as they rely on government and government programs themselves, like Elon Musk. There are no bigger welfare queens than the ones in the halls of power. There's no bigger welfare queen than Trader Trump, who was the biggest loser, so to speak. He is a loser, as we know, and he surrounds himself with losers by his own admission. But he declared more losses than every other American taxpayer. So, and he received like an over $250 million tax, tax return. Wouldn't you like that? I paid more taxes than that baboon. But the Republicans, they frame socialism as if it's the state taking over the economy and abolishing private ownership in general. And they do it on purpose. They conflate everything into, anytime we try to make a more perfect union, to regulate business, to regulate capitalism, they scream socialism. Even though, you know, all you have to do, and even the dumbass Republicans themselves, the maggots who go to Trader Trump's Nuremberg rallies and whatnot, the dead enders who are still in the cult after everything they see, they're all on, they all rely on socialism, as we see when now that Republicans are cutting social safety net, kicking people off of Medicare and Medicaid, and making life worse. They see that they rely on socialism. And, of course, the Republicans would never call it that. Look at the farmers who Trader Trump's tariffs have decimated. They wouldn't have a roof. If the ones who are left, the ones who are still standing, the ones who haven't, unalived themselves, sadly, because they put a baboon back in office who screwed them over the first time. I guess this time they thought it was, no, this time he's really going to hurt the right people, not me. Unbelievable. So this is what they fear in the great mayor of New York. They fear that, just like what happened with gay people, right? Their vilification of gay people over the years stopped having the same impact because more people knew gay people and it was no big deal. Nobody cares. And that was because there was a campaign of visibility that it just couldn't be helped. People, knew gay people. More gay people started coming out of the closet. It was no big deal. There were gay people on TV. There were actors who played gay people in movies, and it didn't ruin their careers. And there were gay actors playing straight roles and vice versa, and nobody cares. No one cares anymore. It's not a big deal. That's why Republicans had to switch their target to trans people. It's the same thing with socialism. They're afraid because these politicians are now identifying as democratic socialists, and that means eventually the scare word is not going to hold the same impact. That's why they don't define it. When the corporate media, that's what drives me crazy, because the corporate media, when they write the story of this time, the corporate media is not going to fare well. They're going to be part of the problem, of what brought America to the brink of disaster. Because they have a duty to educate the American people. If you don't just put a microphone in front of somebody's face and say, what do you think of socialism, without defining it. Give a few examples. And this is what happens when you ask people, what do you think about socialism? Oh, they have a negative view. No, not me. I'm a capitalist. When you're not a capitalist, if you trade the time in your life or a skill for a paycheck, you're not a capitalist. You're a laborer. Capitalism is somebody that makes money through money. You're not a capitalist. And capitalism without regulation will eat you alive. Capitalism will rip you from the arms of your mother, your lover, your daddy, your brother. It'll throw you overboard in the middle of the ocean if you're not profitable. It'll turn you into Soylent Green without regulation. So, but that's, this is why we're here, really. So when if you put a microphone in somebody's face and say, what do you think about socialism? And then they, oh, I don't like it. But then you ask them, what do you think about Medicare? What do you think about Social Security? What do you think about unemployment insurance? What do you think about the fire department, the police department, we can go on. Public education, roads, the public library, all, socialist programs. What do you think about, every Republican, every single one of them, all the ones in the halls of power who rail against socialism, they're all taking part. Look at what happened during the pandemic. They all had PPE loans they're all sucking on the government tea. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She sees the light. She votes for a bill she votes to strip health care from her children. And then she turns around and is like, my kids can't afford health care and we want our Obamacare back. Right? I'm getting a phone call. All right, you're there. Hold on a second, Andrea. Andrea Brower is in the house. 1 second. Where is my pluggity-boo? Pluggity-boo. They changed the interface on eCam. So I'm stumbling through it now. Andrea, how you doing, kid?
Hi.
Hey, welcome to the show, Andrea Brower from the Hal Spark Show, associate producer.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, we getting rated. Did we get a rate? All righty, welcome. Well, I wasn't paying attention to the stream there. Nice to see you. Thank you, Pam, for becoming a member to the at the Booty Boo level. Nice to see everybody. All right, so how's it going?
It's going okay. I can't see the chat, so I'm
You
gonna
can't
have
see
to.
it? Oh,
Nope.
yeah, right. You
Yeah.
have to. The chat's like. Wait, I can hear myself. Don't put on the volume. You can wait. No, it went away. Okay. I have to figure that out. How I can put the chat on the screen.
I know there's a way to do it, but
Right. Hal can do it, but I
yeah,
gotta.
he can do
Yeah.
it.
I gotta figure it out. So, what's going on, kid? Welcome to the show. Thank you for being a part of it, and thank you for.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes. Because you go all day. I know.
I go all day. Plus my own job. So
Right.
you know,
So taking care of Hal, and Hal does 2 shows a day for the most days.
two shows a day, plus his Patreon shows that he does with Flappers.
Oh wow, he does that
Yeah.
too. Shit.
So he does. So well, that's his gift. That's his gift to the Patreons and to the
Yes.
the YouTube members.
What does he do? I should do that.
He does his comedy show from Flappers.
Oh, get out of here. He does
Yeah.
his show. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's great. How does he do that? He sets up a camera and then they.
Oh, he's got it all set up with Flappers, and
Oh, that's
they
wonderful.
he's lucky that they allow him to do it just for his portion. though. It's only for his
Oh,
portion.
wow. Okay. Interesting. Is he doing that tonight?
No. He
No.
already had a show.
Right. That's what I
tonight.
thought. That's why I was a
Yeah.
little confused. Wait, hold on. Let me put this down. So you live in Florida. How long have you been living there?
Born and raised.
Oh, wow. So it used to be Democratic, right? It used to be a Democratic state.
Way back when, a long time ago.
And what happened?
DeSantis weaseled his way in.
Yeah.
We had a lot of I think we've had like a mixture of Republican and Democrat governors over the years. Years, but DeSantis is a Trump wannabe for sure.
Yes. Do you think so? Do you when you talk to your neighbors and whatnot? What about what's the feeling?
There's no talking to them. There's no talking.
Oh,
to
really?
Them now.
Oh, really?
Not now,
Are they
no,
Trump voters?
no.
What do you mean?
No, a lot of there. I live in an area where I'm a blue dot.
Oh, okay.
There
okay.
is very few Democrats here. Very few.
No way. Wait, what?
And I know some of my Florida sparklers and mooks, and even some Midas Mighty. They're in that same boat too in
What?
Florida.
So wait a
Yeah.
minute. You mean your neighbors are Trump voters?
Oh yeah. But at the height of Trump, when all of this started in 2015, oh man, it was bad. You had signs everywhere. You had little stands to sell his merch and stuff everywhere. Oh
Ugh.
yeah.
So do
And
you
if-
see that now, though? I mean,
No.
Okay.
No. They there was such a problem in some areas of Florida, especially in Central Florida, where if they knew that you were not a Trumper, there were issues. Yeah.
Yeah,
There were,
well-
people doing stuff. So
Well, that's the thing.
Um,
Yeah, that's what we were kind of talking about too. Because I was talking. I know you were because you were working on Hal's show. So you weren't you weren't listening to what we were just talking about, which was the Republicans are upset that Curtis Sliwa was in a skit in the Inner Circle event here in New York. He was in a skit with Mayor Mamdani, and they're all losing their minds because it's I guess you shouldn't do anything that makes you seem like you're friendly with someone who's a Democrat, or you know what I mean. It's just it's just so tiring, really.
I think a lot of it is way back in the day. You didn't discuss whether you were a Democrat or a
Right.
Republican.
Right.
When did we lose that? You know, that's a lot of it.
Well,
Oh, that's a
yeah.
big part of it, was that and nobody knew how you voted and who you voted for
Right.
unless you, and
Unless you
it
told
wasn't
them.
talked about. It wasn't
Right.
even talked about in families either.
No, I know. It's true. But you know, I know when we lost it. We lost it when it was, I hate to tell you, it was the Republicans. It was back, I mean, I'm not that old, but I don't, I know a little bit about politics, so, and history, but I don't, like, the old school Republicans like Eisenhower and Nixon, and they weren't doing this. They weren't demonizing their opponents to this level. It started with George W. Bush, and correct me if I'm wrong, and Reagan didn't even do it. But it was George W. They were, maybe I have to look. Now that we're talking about it, I will go back and do some research on Reagan. But George W. Bush definitely, because they would go around and campaign as real America. We're not like those Massachusetts liberals or New York liberals or California liberals. This is what they do that. And I remember talking about this, saying that, what are you talking about? Like New York liberals, California liberals. This is, we're all Americans here. And you would never hear a Democrat say, we're not like those Tennessee Republicans or whatever, or red state morons or whatever. It's the same kind of thing. But you don't hear Democrats say things like that. And then they started with, of course, with Fox News, where it became I guess it was during Clinton, now that I'm thinking about it, because it became like you couldn't even compromise with a Democrat, because that would be tantamount to treason now. And Newt
Well, I think a lot
Gingrich.
of it. I think a lot of it is too. Way back in, even during, I want to say, even during Kennedy, Robert Kennedy and JFK. You didn't see as much. You did see that when they were debating, yes.
Yes, but they
But
were
you
very
didn't see that.
gentlemanly about it, though, too.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't see that on the campaign trails that they did. They didn't bash each other. They would talk, what we would call bashing today, talk about the different things that they were for or for against, and the other party wasn't for that. But they always would say the other party. They would never directly say Republican or Democrat.
Yeah, but
I think more of that started more towards the Nixon era, beginning in that era is when you started seeing it a little bit more.
Well, it was more policy based, and they would not attack people personally either. That was off limits, really. So wasn't there Ford's wife was a drunk and all that? Betty Ford, yeah, exactly. And no one would touch that, and neither. And now it's completely personal, of course. Now you have, that is really Trump, who and the Republicans. I mean, we all saw them devolve on political debate where they were discussing the size of their dicks. Right? I mean, I can't even believe that was a thing. I remember when that happened. I'm sure you remember. We all do, and. That's a line. Yet here we go again.
And that was just like, wait a minute, wait, what?
Right.
And then
no problem there. Yep.
Yeah. Like what?
Yeah, no, I mean, no problem there. You say that my hands are small, that must mean something else is small. Let me tell you, no problem there. And I remember watching that saying, who the fuck is going to vote for that? Who is voting for these people? Who is giving them power?
Who would?
Right. Why would anybody give these people power? They're so juvenile. If that occurred at a high school debate or a high school
Exactly.
run for student government, those kids would be put in detention. No problem there, hey. Yeah. I mean, and then you start calling people names, little Marco, and making fun of people's weight or something. That would be the end. That would be the end.
Exactly.
Wait, hold on. What is that?
And now it's the norm.
Yeah, hold on.
Because Trump's made it the norm.
That's right.
Wait. The Republicans have made it the norm.
Yep. Wait, hold on. Is there? I just hear like a crackling on the mic or something. Are you?
I don't know what that is.
It's like it sounds like. Let me. Anyone on the chat can hear it. Let me know. All right. It sounds like
weird.
chipmunks. It's like.
That is weird.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah. And maybe
Is that better?
if maybe call back in a second if people can hear it. It's just like.
I may need to put my earbud in. That's probably
maybe it might be some kind of noise canceling or something that it's trying to do. If you're not, you're using the open air mic.
That's probably what I'm doing. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, put on. Yeah, no, we can't. It sounds like.
All right.
Yeah, Trucker John says he can hear it. Yeah.
All right, let me go out and come back in.
All right, call me back.
Right.
Call me back,
Bye.
kid. Bye. Yeah, we can't do that. We can't have that. We don't want no chipmunks in this bitch. I like chipmunks. If we were living in a normal society, I would maybe do a show about a chipmunk once. We'd do some animal shows, and maybe one would focus on a chipmunk, but not on a Tarabuster. And thank you, Bonnie, for your super chat. Cats rule. That's right, they do. And if we weren't fighting fascism, that's what I would do. I would do that as a show. Maybe, TNR show, animal rescue show. Right? Isn't that what we should be focusing on rather than fighting fascism? That was the dream, I think, of the founders, were to give us the freedom to do things like enjoy our lives where we weren't worried about I don't know, a knock on the door. Hold on, you know what I'm saying? Ice coming to our door or something. All right, let's see. Let's try it. Hold on a second. This is Tara Devlin, Unapologetic Liberal Talk. Be right back. And we're back. Wait, now I lost you. Wait a second, Andrea. Hold on. I don't hear it yet, but doesn't mean it's not there. Let's see. All right, let's see how it goes. You put your headset in.
Okay, is that better?
It does sound better, yeah. So let's hope. I think that was probably the problem. It was like.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You're good. We only know until we don't know until we do it, and then we see what happens, right?
how tech stuff has followed me.
Right. Well, with this show has tech all the time, as everybody knows.
Well,
that's for sure.
everybody goes through it.
Yes.
If you hear a little like meow, it's my 18-year-old cat Houdini.
Oh.
And he wanders around. Like I swear, I think he's sundowning.
Oh yeah,
because
he probably
at night
is.
he sits there and meows all night long. I have tried with the pain meds with him. I have tried giving him Cajorton to help him with his joints. He's just old, and he's an old man, and he's just a cranky boy.
It's okay.
So
it's like Tara Jr.
If you hear it.
Yeah. No, I think I did hear it, but it's fine. It's, no problem. It's like Tara Jr.'s old. I think he's sundowning too. He does sundown. I know. I could tell, because he gets.
Yeah, he every night, same thing. A couple of hours he does it, and he paces back and forth.
Yeah. Well, Tara Jr. starts hissing at Boudica and the other cats, and I think it's because he's sundowning or something, because at night it's like he starts hissing at them, and they're like, "What the hell?" You know, like they'll be walking by him, and he'll like, and Boudica's like, "What? Like, why are you hissing at me?" Like you could see her confusion. She doesn't understand. So I think
one of my patients passed away about 3 years ago, and I ended up finding him. And he had a 13-year-old cat, April, and I have her, and she's very old. She's 13. She's set in her ways. And every once in a while, she'll come up to something she doesn't recognize, because her sight's going and stuff. And she sits there and hisses at it. I'm like, why are you hissing? There's nothing there.
Yeah.
But, they age like we
sucks.
do, so.
Yes, but faster. That sucks. It's their only flaw. Yeah. I can't take it. No, I'm very upset. In fact, my sister just lost her dog, and we were talking, and then, she was very upset, of course, and then I started crying. I was crying about her dog, too, and then I was like, and Tara Jr.'s 15, and I was crying, and she's like, he's still there, though, right? And I'm like, I was like crying over him, and she's like, don't cry until he's gone. And I'm like, you're right, but I'm already like, petting him and crying, and she's like, he's not dead, he's right there. I'm not gonna be good. Look, I'm crying now. I'm a crier, so I'm a crier anyway.
I'm not good. I've been fostering since I was 16, and I am not good when they're, I'm fine when they leave, and I'm glad that they've got homes.
Yeah.
But
when they pass away,
when they get old like this, I can't. I just can't.
It just it's just who we are. It reminds us, I guess, of our own mortality, and life is so short, and that's why, honestly, it gets me enraged when I think about what we're dealing with, because that I talk about it all the time. We're here for this blip of time. We share this small blip of time together, and some people are just dedicated to making it suck for others. And
I want to remind everybody, whether you're a MAGHAT or a Republican, Democrat, Independent, we're all stuck in this together. So just remember that. It wasn't, just remember that. Just because us Dems did our job, we're stuck with it, and we're stuck in it until the midterms. And the midterms, people, are almost 8 months away.
Yeah,
we got
8 months of this shit
to do.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what you were talking about. You wanted to talk about, the mail-in voting and all that.
Mailing.
Yeah.
I want everybody. I don't know how many of you, because I can't see the chat, but I don't know how many of you, your mail, you're getting it reduced in the days that you get it, or you're only getting one piece of mail a day, or skipping a couple of days and then getting some mail. That's going to come to a halt, just to let you know. Trump has already alluded to it. He's already been talking about the mail, and this was in Project 2025. He does not want, even though the asshat mailed his ballot in Florida by mail.
It's
okay
so typical.
if he does it and the rest of the GOP does it, but
right.
not for the rest of us.
Yeah,
and
because it's about voter suppression.
Exactly. I would say by mid-June, end of June, we're going to see that stop.
You're talking about and what stop in particular?
The mail.
The mail itself. What do you mean? The mail?
That we're not
you're
going
just
to get
slowing
any mail. We're not going to be able to send out mail, and we're not going to be able to mail. He's going to shut that stuff up.
Well, he's going to slow. He can't stop the mail, but he.
He's done everything else. I'm just telling you, this is in Project 2025, and everything that they have said in Project 2025, they have done so far.
Well,
now, Gavin Newsom, and J.D. Pritzker, who I adore, both of them governors. They're trying to stop that.
Well,
But
it
they're
doesn't.
gonna have to do
I'm
it
just
rather
looking it up.
quickly.
Yeah, it says Project 2025 does not lay out a general plan to eliminate regular mail delivery, but it uses the mail and postal service in a few key ways. And let's see, a plan to. This is about abortion, to revive and enforce the Comstock Act to block abortion medications from going through the mail. And let's see, of course, going after labor unions, the postal union. That's another thing that's in Project 2025. Like, everything that they do is to make life
If I
suck.
remember right now, somebody in the chat, I know Alyosha will know this because he knows everything, but somebody in the chat will know if DeJoy is still in there.
Let's
I can't
see.
remember if Trump finally
No.
somehow got him out.
Let me see.
But if he's still in there, he was a very big ally towards Trump.
No, I know. He should have been gone. I don't understand. That's what would drive me crazy about Democrats, even with what's going on with Pam Bondi. So whatever Lickspittle is going to be next, that is they're going to use to just keep the Project 2025 destruction of America going. We know whoever it is going to be worse than Pam Bondi, so there's no even purpose discussing it, right? They are all horrible people. So I don't understand why Louis DeJoy is still in there when Joe Biden got into office. But you know what I'm saying? He was in there to destroy the Postal Service,
Right.
to privatize it. Louis DeJoy.
But the only thing that saves the Postal Service is the Postal Service is governed by their own, for a lack of a better
they
term,
have
cabinet.
Yeah, they have
their
a board of
for
directors.
a lack of a better term, cabinet. That cabinet runs the Postal Service on what policies get made. So it's not solely on DeJoy.
Yeah, but okay, listen to, just entertain me for a moment, or whatever they say. Indulge me, right? I see the filthy fascists doing things like Tommy Tuberville blocking military promotions for however long, 18 months, a long time. I don't remember the exact length of time off the top of my head, but they do things like that. They block nominees. They stop. Look at what Mitch McConnell did, blocking Obama from putting Merrick Garland, this mild, meek-mannered, mealy-mouthed nothing, on the Supreme Court. And what do? We just, there's nothing we can do. Trader Trump goes in there and he signs an executive order to overturn a constitutional amendment and birthright citizenship. That's in the freaking Constitution. I don't even understand how they could take it to the Supreme Court and them entertain it. It seems like, of course, it's not going to be overturned, but who the fuck is they to overturn it? It's a constitutional amendment. You have to, the only way to overturn it is to fucking make it go away as a constitutional amendment. They do another amendment to fucking overturn it. So
look what they did with Roe versus Wade.
Right.
And Alito.
But that's
not doing good.
That wasn't a constitutional amendment, though. You see, that was
no, but it was on the law books.
Right, and
That
it was
legal.
precedent upon precedent
Right.
upon precedent, which is what that Justice I Like Beer said about it. Well,
Right.
and they all said, "Oh, it's precedent upon precedent," and it was, it's been reaffirmed and reaffirmed. So, yes. But it still was not a constitutional amendment, even though you could argue it was in the Constitution, the right of privacy, because that's what Roe v. Wade was decided on.
Right.
Privacy about, privacy in your medical decisions, and, fucking get your filthy Republican nose out of my doctor's office. That's, that's what when we would say it's a constitutional right. That's what we meant. And it is, and of course, yes, they overturned it, but it was not written specifically as a constitutional amendment like birthright citizenship is. It says it right there in the Constitution.
But it was a law. Yes, it wasn't in the Constitution per se, but it was a law. And it
Yeah.
had been a law for over 50 years.
Yeah.
Now get ready, because Hal alluded to this today. Get ready, because Alito has been in the hospital.
Oh, no.
And if something happens to her, Trump gets to nominate
fuck
another
this.
SCOTUS.
Oh, and this is what I'm talking about. Fuck that, okay? If the Democrats do not put their fucking foot down, that's why I don't even know. They have no power. I know.
They don't have the power.
At this point.
That's why it is so important for us to get the messaging out. And all our job is to do, people. All our job is to do. Red states purple, purple states blue. That is our job. If they're blue already, hallelujah, let's keep them there. That is our job. But we've got to get that messaging out. And we've got to be bolder, okay, i.e. Gavin Newsom, A.E. Swalwell, you that are running, that are going to be running for high positions, you are the ones that we look up to. Get your messaging out there and be firm in that messaging.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the problem.
Because midterms are in 8 months.
Not
8 months.
quick enough.
And Trump is going to try everything, or Stephen Miller, it's not even Trump anymore. Stephen Miller and Trump regime is going to try everything they can to make it to where we cannot vote, or they're going to cheat again.
Yeah, they are cheating. That's the whole
So
project. That's why they're not.
So we have to get that messaging out there.
Yeah, they're not
Go
doing
out there.
anything to help the American people. That's what Republicans do. When they're not, when Democrats lose elections, they're like, oh, well, how can we knock on more doors, build coalitions? What can we do, to get our message out there that we have policies that help people and blah, blah, blah. What a fucking the Republicans, what do? They kick people off the voting rolls. They get together and say, we're going to redistrict in the middle of the decade. This is unprecedented. They don't, that's why we do a census. The redistricting happens around the population. And then the filthy fascist Republican baboon, it goes, this is why they don't want to count people who are undocumented. They don't want to count. It's like they are fucking with everything because it's not them who. It's like what they're trying to say is that the system is broken and only I can fix it, basically, and they're the ones breaking it,
right?
Which is why as you know, when we're talking about all of the voter suppression, voter ID, all their dirty tricks to kick people off the rolls. And then they say, oh, well, we're just doing it because of election integrity. We need, people need to be secure and they need to understand that their elections are safe and secure. No one had a problem with elections until the filthy fascist baboon got in there telling them that there was a problem with it, and the problem is him. And that's why I'm so sick of it. It's like the gaslighting since he came down the escalator, but, of course Republicans have been messing with the election for decades. This is what they do, but not to this extent. George W. Bush, for example, when he got elected, they tried to find, because they're always running on bullshit. They're really good coming up with remedies to fix the bullshit that they talk about. So when George W. Bush got into office, they commissioned an audit of the election to try to find illegal voters, right? People, because this is what they say. Oh, well, illegals are voting and they're tipping the scales. And of course, they spent millions of dollars on this and found, like 0.1 point. It was like, infinitesimal. I can't even say that word. A very small amount. And they even had to give it up. That was George W. Bush. But they have been harping on this bullshit for years about elections and whatnot, but not to this extent. Now, now the baboon he has poisoned, like everything else he touches, he has poisoned our elections, which is why he knows he's going to get trounced. When all things are fair and equal, these Republicans, they don't stand a chance, okay?
Well, you got to remember, there's more of us than them. Why is there more of us than them? Because Trump, the first election, killed half of his base with COVID.
I wish it were half.
People got to remember that.
If only it were half.
Texas Paul says, get out there, make fun. This will be my 5th year making calls for their Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. This will be my 5th year.
What?
This year we're going to try and do emails. But this is my 5th year doing it.
Okay.
Go and sign up to go to your local supervisor's elections. It's super easy. You go in there, you tell them that you want to work on one of the polls. Mm-hmm. They will assign you a poll to go work out. Get out there
what
with
do you mean?
One of your...
You mean on election day?
On election day, say, hey, I want to be one of the poll workers there. Doesn't matter with your, they have their own little thing.
I know my aunt does that, and it's all that's all good. That's all well and good.
Right.
But,
go out there when and Major Ojeda did this. Get out there and get some of the people that are local people that are in, whether they're poll workers or they're at the supervisor elections. Some of them went out with him on the campaign trail and got in within their community. Mm-hmm. Get out there and whoever is in your district that is running for electric, you can go there and make signs. You don't have to get involved in going in there and doing the
you have to. That's I don't know.
Supporting them is making signs and helping them pass out stickers or whatnot. That's helping your community and it's helping your Democratic Party. Right. It doesn't have to be much. But if we all band together and do this, one of the reasons Major Ojeda won his primary was because he got out there. He went all over District 9 in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And you and Texas Paul is a blue dot in Texas. Okay, he is a very blue dot in Texas. Yes, there's other Democrats around, but he's a very blue dot in Texas.
What do you mean?
He gets out there in his community.
Oh, well,
Texas is very red.
No, I know.
Texas is very, very red. And he's one of the very few Democrats that are out there that are vocal.
Well, that's what I mean. There's more. I mean, when you say he's the blue dot over there, there are more than him. They're just not as vocal.
But that's what I'm saying is get out there, even if it seems like I'm in a very red area in Florida. I still go out and make calls. I still do what I gotta do.
You gotta though.
And I'm surrounded by neighbors that had their signs up for Trump.
But they took them down.
But they had to because they made it a law that nobody do it out here. Oh yeah.
Oh, you had me hopeful there for a second. They made a law.
The only time that you can see political signs, because it got that bad in Central Florida, especially my area.
Well, you see what I mean?
The other side was literally destructing other people's property and stuff. It got really
Well, this
bad.
is what happened. I mean, this is what Republicans do. I hate to say it.
Sorry.
They ruin everything. They put their fucking signs up. They put their, then it has to become signs and this and let's go Brandon and FJB and all, they just do it to be dicks. There's nothing rational happening here. It's not like, we're rational Republicans. We're for low taxes on the rich and deregulation on corporations. It's about, let me annoy my neighbors. Let me be a fucking asshole, and I'm going to band together with the other juveniles in this little community here, and we're going to trigger the libs. It's really going to get them, right? I'm so tired of that. you know, if you have a different point of view, that's great. And I see it on my comments too all the time. They never have anything to say other than you're stupid or you're a woke lib, another brain dead woke lib. I got the other day.
We
I'm
see
like,
it in the chats all the time.
but
I'm
that's what
sure
I mean. It's
Jim
like,
sees it.
yes,
I know Susie sees it. I see it a lot in Stephanie's chat.
yeah, but it's
A
like
lot.
if they had anything to say, well, okay, you're just a woke lib. All right, what do you know?
Because they don't have
The fuck does
anything.
that mean? You know, okay. What am I saying? I mean, and one of the comments was on a video I made that said, criminalizing abortion does not reduce the abortion rate. Oh, you're a woke lib. All right. Well, that's just a fucking fact, and you're responding with, oh, I'm a baboon.
You got to look at it this way, though. They are just repeating.
Right.
Okay. They're
Sad.
just repeating what everybody else is saying. And like I said before, remember that one, I don't know how, I know a lot of you watch SpongeBob, but there's this one thing on SpongeBob.
You do?
And the,
Who loves
and the reason why
How
I'm
do you
saying
know
is I had
that?
to watch it with my grandchildren when they were younger. But the one thing that stuck out, and this reminded me when Trump started, there was Plankton, and he's the evil Plankton. He's the evil warlord, so to say. Okay? And he tricked all of these fish into getting a bucket to put on their heads.
Oh,
And he
like
got
Trump.
them, he tricked them, and he put these buckets on his heads. All of them, right? There were
He's
very
evil?
few. SpongeBob didn't get it. Squidward didn't get it. Mr. Krabs didn't get it. But all the other fish got it that lived in this little sea. Okay? He
That's
flipped
funny.
the switch, and the lights went off, and they were like, oh. That's what reminds me about the Republican Party.
What do you mean?
They
Like,
listen-
yeah. Oh, yeah.
they
They're
listen
just
to Trump.
followers.
They listen to Trump, and they're just, oh, we'll do whatever you say, Orange
Yeah.
Man.
They will.
That's the Republican Party right now.
It's
They cannot think
disgraceful.
for themselves. They
Mhm.
cannot think for themselves and do what they need to do
No,
to
they're
get their shit out of all of this. Some of them are waking up, but very few.
right because of
And
propaganda.
the ones that are waking
Mhm.
up, they're not fully woken up because they still believe in some of the crap that they're
Yeah.
still spewing.
Well, that's
So-
yes. There's, as we have discussed, we've played many clips of these, especially when that piece of shit Elon Musk was firing everyone, and a lot of them were Trumpanzees, and there were many media packages where they would go and interview. What do you think now? And one woman I'm thinking of, there was she was making the rounds on the media. She was downsized or whatever. She had her Trump signs outside and everything. And she's like, I'm not, I believe in what Trump says, but I'm not waste, fraud, and abuse. I just never thought it would be me. But I still believe that government is too big and needs to be, whatever the fuck. But not me, right? So who did you think? And this is what Republicans suffer from, the pathological selfishness of, I only see the light when something affects me directly, but they still can't completely sever from the bullshit. What are you talking about, waste, fraud, and abuse with the government? I believe government needs to be small and blah, blah, blah. No, bitch. What we need is a government that, when I call the Social Security Administration, they pick up on the first ring and they address my issue without me having to stay on fucking hold all day. This is what you expect from a shining city on a hill. You don't expect bullshit and a bullshit bureaucracy that sucks, that doesn't do the basic mechanism or the basic, administration of a free democratic society, and that's reflective of us as a people. Because if we had more respect for ourselves and each other, we wouldn't stand for that. we wouldn't stand. We would stand. The only thing we would accept would be a functioning bureaucracy, because you need a fucking
Exactly.
bureaucracy. It's as old as the goddamn Roman Empire. And so you need a functioning bureaucracy in a modern country. You know, there is shit has to get done. So
Well, a lot of it is too. A lot of it is too, and the reason why people say that and talk that way is because there's no history, there's no civics in schools. There hasn't been for about 20 years.
Yeah, no, that was a
that's a
Republican
lot of
project
it.
too. Exactly. They
And
don't.
a lot
yes.
of people do not know about our history, whether it's our history, it's Black history, it's the history of World War One, history of World War Two, the history of the Vietnam War,
No.
Iraq War. They know none of that because
No.
it was the past 20 years they have not been taught it.
No,
There
I
was
know.
no-
Trust me.
There
I know.
was no 20 years ago. I noticed for a fact because of my children. Okay,
Yeah.
20 years ago they quit teaching world history.
Well,
World history. You wonder
is this
why
a
people
nationwide
aren't
thing or
interested.
a Florida thing?
You wonder. Yep.
Well, you know that
Nationwide.
during Obama's administration, they were trying to make some national standards in education that we would all learn a certain set of facts.
And they did that.
Well, no,
And
and then
they
they
did that.
fucking Republicans lost their shit. Say, oh, he's trying to indoctrinate the youth, and this is freedom. That's why, I mean, everything that they
Yeah.
do is to destroy this country and to set us back. It's all about destroying, and
Yeah.
it's because they fundamentally lack the maturity to function in the kind of system that that the American experiment is supposed to be. You know, they don't like it. That's why they have to inflict their bullshit on everybody. They want everybody to be fucking Christian. They want everybody to be, you know, be in a godly marriage like Christy Nome and Brian Nome and his big boobs, right? They want everybody to be like them. And that's that's not reality. And that certainly
No,
isn't a
it's not.
reality in a multiracial liberal democracy. But they have the
Exactly,
freedom.
100%.
Yeah, and what they have is, if they were mature enough and capable, and they have the freedom to shut their filthy mouths and look away, look, and focus on yourself. Leave people alone. Go live your godly marriage with your big boobed husband. Do us a favor, leave us alone, and we'll leave you alone. You know what I mean? We'll come together and we'll pay our taxes, and we'll distribute our tax money in fair and equitable manners, so, you know, we all can have a healthy environment, education system, retirement security, decent life, and enjoy this blip of fucking time together. Right? Isn't that
just
the point?
Remember, Trump said, "I love the poorly educated."
Yes, he
There's
did.
a
And he
reason why he
and he
said
hangs
that.
out with losers too. He said he loves hanging out with losers. And
Right.
thank you,
So
Michael
if you're
McAndrews.
educated-
Sorry about that. Thank you, Michael
No, that's okay.
McAndrews, for your super chat. We as a people can do so much better. And
Yes, we
yes,
You know, and that's
1,000%.
That's why I am so glad that people like Jim Acosta and Don Lemon, these are people we have watched for years. Katie Fang. These are people we have watched.
And
for
Boston
years.
Brian,
And Boston
who's
Brian.
in the chat right now.
And Liberal Dan. And
Yeah,
Trucker
fuck Katie
John,
Holmes.
and-
Whatever, not Katie Holmes.
And Hal.
Exactly.
Katie Fang.
Fang.
But
She's
what
all right.
gets- we and JoJo from Jurors, and
Exactly.
Stephanie Miller,
Yeah.
and Jody, all of us,
And Tara Devlin.
and Tarabuster, Taylor Devlin, all of us have worked together to reach a common goal. And the corporate media, if this merger, which I think it did go through, or they're waiting on it to
No,
go through.
you're talking about Paramount?
Right. If that merger goes through, and people don't know this, so I'm letting y'all know now, your local TV stations will be no more. It will be owned by Paramount. It will be owned by the merger that went through. So that's why independent media, we need to stick with independent media. I really hope, and I think this is Allison Gill's and idea, and I kind of think it is with JoJo with the siren, is all of these people, if they would just come together and create, or better idea, have free speech TV, come together with all of these people and create one giant freaking independent network.
Well, yeah, I
You
wonder.
can still have Jim Acosta's show, the Boston Brian show, have them on at different times, but do it under a network.
Maybe.
That
I
would,
just
because you can't touch it, because you can run it off of Free Speech TV as an independent where they get donations. So you're not crossing into government lines.
yeah.
Okay? You're not, because they run off of donations. That's how they run.
Free
Okay, same
speech you're
thing
talking
as,
about.
right.
Mhm.
Free Speech TV. I don't know how WCPT runs their thing. I'm not quite sure. It's an AM station, so I'm not quite sure. But if all of these people would get together, because we all want the same damn
Well,
thing.
you see, I think that I don't know. I have to digest that
Because
more.
you've got to, if we're going to lose our news, okay, if we're going to lose our news and we're going to lose our local news, guarantee you we're going to lose it. We have to go somewhere to get our news. We're going to have to.
Well, we haven't. It hasn't been lost yet because the
It hasn't been
merger
lost
hasn't.
yet, but if that goes through,
Well, that's
we're
what.
going to
That's
have
the
to start
more.
thinking.
Right, but that's. I don't know about making a big giant conglomerate that's also, because then you get into the whole other issues. We're already. I don't know. It's hard to say. I haven't.
I mean, I'm saying if Free Speech TV can do it, which they've done very well. They're not a network, but they've done very well. WCPT has done very well. You know, I mean, we've got to come to the meetings of the minds to get it going. But however, we're going to need something. Because let me tell you, not everybody goes to Aaron Parnas to get their information. Not everybody goes to get their news and some information from Harry Sisson. Not everybody's on those platforms.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know.
if you have one platform,
That's part. Yeah, but this is okay. This is part of the
everybody can
problem.
gravitate to.
The problem is that, okay, we're already in silos of information. It's too late. We're already in, and that's part of what brought us into this state of fascism. That the consolidation of the media, because of the Telecommunications Act of '96, it was Bill Clinton signed it, but you know Reagan started the whole consolidation of the media. It started with him. And then we have these corporate Democrats like Bill Clinton putting the nail in the coffin. It's really upsetting and sad. But that's why we are in this boat. Back in the day when what's his name? When Walter Cronkite said the Vietnam War is lost, the American people all heard that with one understanding that this is our news, that we can trust Walter Cronkite. When he and Edward R. Murrow, CBS, Edward R. Murrow, who would be spinning in his grave, looking at what CBS is today. So I think that, you know, this is people are already they're already gravitating towards their towards their communities, which is why we have Trumpanzees that are hard to break out of the cult. They're not getting the news. They're not getting the same
I
news.
I don't care that they're not getting the news because they created this shit show. I'm worried about us.
Well,
I'm worried about us getting our information because, like I said, you've got older people that are out there, and I see this on a daily basis because I deal with the elderly. I see this on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to use a computer. They don't know how to use a phone. I know several people that I take care of, they use flip phones.
Right.
They have no idea how to use TV, or use a cell phone, or an iPad, or a laptop, or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have one medium, one area where all of us can get to it. And like I said, I don't give a shit about the Republicans because they started this crap.
Well, it's not about
They
start. I
created
mean,
the
it's just
BS.
the whole fucking thing. I don't understand though. So now we have to reach the old people now too.
Well,
I'm
but
just
what
kidding.
I'm saying is, I'm just
One
saying
big
is,
giant liberal
we need-
network that is
we
on
need one
a place
net-
where
we
old
need
people
one
go?
network where
Okay.
we can get everybody in there, like everybody, so everybody can be
Am
a
I
part
on
of
this
it, so
network?
everybody can see it.
Am I on this network?
Well, duh.
Then it's a fucking go. Let's do it. No, I'm just kidding.
But what I'm saying is, it's going to lead to that. If this merger
I don't know.
happens, it's
I
going
think we
to
should
lead
take
to
it
that.
one step at a time. I mean, the media the corporate media itself is not going to call out its own toxicity. Okay, so
They've already started.
the corporate
They've already
media.
started. Well,
What?
yeah, look at CNN.
They're not going to, but they're not going to.
A Trump person.
Yes, I know, but they're
MSNBC.
not. But you don't understand. I'm saying they're not going to criticize themselves as being the reason, as part of the problem. They're not going to criticize. They're just going to go along as business as usual. So the problem, and they're not going to explain to the American people how dangerous to democracy, as we see. They never seem to frame it in that sense anyway. That how these media mergers, like Paramount swallowing up another giant, another media outlet, how that is dangerous for democracy. And people used to understand this, how, extreme concentration of media power would, and in this situation, it's CBS, CNN, chunks of the film industry, right? And all aligned under a big Trump billionaire family. And this will, of course, give them the power to, and you see what's going on with CBS now, and it's just.
Well, the reason they're doing it is because Trump wants that merger because
I know,
he wants
but it has
one station to be like how Putin has it. That's
exactly
what he wants,
and that's the message
that's what he. And we're not going to get our messaging out if that happens.
Yeah, but I mean,
we're not going to reach everybody.
How is that? But no. It's all if they. I don't know. They of course they can pull the plug on any one of us at any time on YouTube. If one of these fuckers buys YouTube and then pulls the plug, we're done. I know I am. They did that to Republican Dirty Tricks. I had a website, Republican Dirty Tricks, that was doing pretty good on Facebook. We had a large Facebook following of over 100,000 or more. I don't remember how much it was. It was a lot. And that was all our traffic came from Facebook. And then one day I woke up and it was fucking gone because they had decided that it was divisive, and it was during when they were deplatforming all of the right wingers after was it after January 6th? It was after something with Trump did, and they started deplatforming all the right wingers, and they deplatformed me and Republican Dirty Tricks because it was they had a both sides it. And the name Republican Dirty Tricks was inflammatory, even though, it was just people writing stories and doing everything that we're doing right here. Nothing, just not nothing, but talking like this.
Right.
And not, it wasn't like we were like like kill the Republicans or anything. It was nothing like that, of course. It wasn't violent. We were advocating for health care and living wages and education. So then they fucking pulled. So that's what I'm saying. That could happen on YouTube. That can happen on any other platform. This is what I believe we should be concerned about. More concerned.
And that's why we have Substack. That's why we have Blue
Yeah, but
Sky.
that's what I mean. But
Spoutable.
anything
that's why we
could
have
happen.
Free Speech TV. Those are independently owned. See what I'm saying? There's a difference. It's independent.
I don't know.
You can, if we
I'm
wanted to
lost.
play devil's advocate on the thing with YouTube, there's Rumble. There's a lot of ass.
There's another one. Yeah, I guess. But you only have.
I mean,
but
Hal,
the thing
Hal
is,
does his show on Rumble.
no, I know. But Hal's Hal. I don't. Whatever. He's got. He's a movie TV star. So we.
Yeah, but that doesn't make a difference. I mean,
It does.
We're all in this together, and if we
Mhm.
want to get that messaging out, because I'm telling you, if that merger goes through, we are going to be screwed on getting that messaging out.
Well,
and they
that's
know
the
that.
point. What I'm saying is that we have our effort should be concentrated in stopping the merger at this point. Not, I don't understand, like making a giant like one thing.
How are we going to stop it? Are we billionaires? Are we millionaires?
But that's why we have to get Democrats in office. We have to
Right, but
put
that's gonna
political
take time.
pressure on. I mean, you
In
might
a
as well
house
just
that-
shut the show down then. If what's the point?
In a house that is controlled by the Republicans.
Yeah, but
we
I mean,
can't
this
even
is
get our say in there.
But
We can't. The ones that are Democrats that are in there right now, that are the minority, we can't even get to work because freaking Mike.
So what are we even
Johnson
doing
keeps
here
shutting
then?
it down.
Why don't we just shut the show down and just talk about cats? Here comes Tara Jr. again, and but I mean, there are concrete things.
You see what I'm saying, though.
Yes, I
I'm
do,
not-
but I'm not
I'm
I'm not
not-
gonna say like we shouldn't fucking try. Like, what's the point then? You're saying, yeah, the fucking.
The point is, we want to get that messaging out, and if we are going to make it to the midterms and win back, hopefully both houses, we got to be able to get that messaging out, because if that merger goes through,
Yes.
if it goes through,
Okay, stop banging
will
the thing because
lose.
it.
Sorry, we will lose local and regular media.
Well, that's
regular
what I'm
news media.
saying. That's why you have to. How you stop a merger like this, you have to put political pressure on Democrats. And if you're in a, not just, I
How are you
understand.
going to put political
You
pressure?
gotta call
That's what
them.
I'm
This
saying.
is
it's
what-
like a catch-22. It's like a catch-22.
How do you do anything? How do you do a fucking no kings march? You hit your representatives, you hit your senator, you hit your state AG hard. You make campaigns. There are campaigns that are directing people to do things that demand the attorney generals in the states sue to block this merger. So that's happening. You have to make a noise. You got to you got to tell people.
Right, and how do we do that? By getting our message
I don't know. I
out.
do a show
Like I
called
said,
Tarabuster.
It's like a catch. You see what I'm saying? It's a catch-22. We're damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't. And if we do,
We're damned if we
do it
don't
because,
because you're damned anyway.
Because we are not the majority. We are the minority. Even if we got that messaging out there, and even if we got a bunch of senators and AGs and everybody out there to go against, ask SCOTUS to do this and this and this, or ask our senators to do this and this and this, they control everything.
I know.
And right now, our best messaging is word of mouth. Word of mouth is what's going to get us to win the midterms. And let me tell you, the only person out there other than Boston Brian, the only person out there that's talking about Ukraine is Philip Bittner. That's
what?
the
What?
only
Ukraine
one that's
come in
talking
now?
about
What?
Ukraine.
Now we're talking about what?
But what I'm saying is, without that messaging, he's the only one out there talking about it. He's the only one. He's the only American
Yeah,
over there
because
talking
there's
about it.
fucking 50,000 things coming out of the fire hose. So that's the whole fascist plot. Yes.
Right, but I'm saying he's the only out of all the media, and he was media. Okay, Philip was media at one time. He's worked for several media, CNN, MSNBC. He's worked for several of them. CBS. He's worked for several of them. Out
Okay.
of all of them, Philip is a single man over there doing it on his own, reporting about Ukraine. Nobody else
Okay.
is talking about it.
So
He's still getting that messaging out there,
right.
but he's doing it independently. We are going to have to independently do this. We're not going to be able, I'm telling you, if that merger comes through, we are not going to have an outlet other than independent media to get the news and to get that messaging out there, because we are in the minority, unfortunately. We are in that minority.
I know.
It doesn't, the Republicans suck. Yeah, they suck. But we're
I
the
mean,
minority.
you're like contradicting yourself, it seems, because it's
No,
like I'm
no.
saying do this, do that because of the media merger, and you're like, well, Philip Bittner's doing it. He's
But because
all
he's
by
an
himself.
Because
And-
he's an independent person over there doing what a news station, a big news station like CNN, like MSNBC or MSN now, should be doing. He's independent. He's independently over there talking about this where nobody else is. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
We're on Substack, Political Voices, Free Speech TV, Stephanie Miller, Glenn Kirshner, Boston Brian, Liberal Dan, Texas Paul, JoJo from Jers, Katie Fang, Don Lemon, and Jim Acosta, and many more.
What about what am I fucking chopped liver over here?
Tara
What?
Devlin, well, that's a given, lady. I'm sitting here talking
I'm
to
like-
you. That's a given.
I'm
That's
just
a
kidding.
given.
I'm only kidding.
But what I'm saying is, we all are going to have to come together, even though we're independent. We're going to have to come together and get that messaging out, because I know for a fact that if this merger goes through, we're going to lose that ability to get that messaging out.
Well, let's
there.
hope it doesn't fucking go. That's what I'm saying. Let's fucking what? Yeah, okay. All right, I'm getting a headache. I don't understand. I'm very confused. No, I get it. I would love to be part of a giant liberal network. That would be great and amazing. And we have
Right,
Political
and-
Voices Network, and yeah,
Yep.
I don't know. It'd be nice.
And we got Tarabusters.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But,
So-
and not only that, you forget you're also on radio when you're doing Tarabusters and doing your Tara show with Political Voices. So there's another media outlet. that
I'm
you
on
have.
radio? Where? What do you mean? I'm on radio.
You do the radio with the radio thing that you do.
I
When
don't.
you're talking on here, you do the radio.
What? I'm on the radio?
The
What do you-
radio thing that you're on when you're doing your shows.
I'm on a radio thing? Oh, on the Political Voices Network? I mean, on Progressive
No.
Voices? What?
No, Tara.
I'm on
the radio
Apple.
thing.
What radio
No,
thing?
Tara, the radio station you do with your friend that you
I
always
do
take the breaks for.
Oh, APS Radio. Oh
Right.
my god. Oh my god. No, that's an independent.
That's
That's
another
another.
form
It's
of
not.
media.
I'm thinking like radio, like WABC radio or something. No,
No,
APS
that's
Radio
another-
News. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
That's another media that you can get your voice out to.
Yes, and I do, and it's fucking tough. Yeah, it is. There's a lot of other people out there, and they have a lot more money and more time, I guess, and also more promotion, more money. Deep pockets makes more promotion, and so it's easier. Like when Joy Reid starts her show, she's already got a big audience, because she was on a big corporate network. But
Right. And that makes it, and and like I said, all of those people left or were forced to leave, and they became independent media, and that's what we're going to have to do to continue that.
Mm-hmm.
And if we come together and have a network, we can get that messaging out all in one area. Is my suggestion, is all I'm saying.
I don't know. Is this happening? Is this just something you're saying, or is this something
No,
that's
I'm
going
saying
on?
that's something we should be looking towards, or trying to look towards, is what I'm saying.
Making a
Because
big,
I know when that merger goes through, it's going to affect
that's why
local
I'm saying. I
stations.
know you're like, what's the point? But I don't think like that until it's a done deal. It's not done. If
No, it's
nobody
not, but
is.
it's something we should think about.
Yes, but I mean, if your elected representatives, your AGs, and whoever else is, I haven't done the research, but I'm sure there are people out there trying to organize to stop this merger. And the fact is, we all know there's a million things going on, and it's not getting any attention in the media because the media is going to benefit from it, and many of the people, they don't want to touch it because they know that the baboon has his eyes on it, which he shouldn't even be involved in.
No, he shouldn't
anyway.
even be involved in it all.
No, that's
Period.
another thing that these fuckers have destroyed, and that's not getting any play in the corporate media because they're afraid. They don't want to, he already has their ire. And I even saw there was, I wish I had grabbed the clip on CNN. There was that guy who does the stats, I can't remember his name.
Kornacki.
Not Kornacki. That's MSNBC or
That's
MS
on
Now.
MSNBC.
On CNN, the guy who does the stats. Somebody on the chat will remind me, but he does the polls, and he's very animated, and he did a thing that about the war, and it's a very unpopular war, and he said that, of course, everybody knows it's very unpopular. Then he put up another poll that said, out of, first it was like Democrats support the war. It was, like 20%. Republicans support the war. It was like 35%. And he's like, MAGA Republicans support the war. 100%. Like it was such a ass-licky segment.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason they put it up there was, just like they do on Fox News, was for an audience of one, to say there was no point to showing a poll that 100% of, I mean, the poll the story shouldn't be that 100% of MAGA Republicans support the war. The story should be, what's wrong with these people? This is a cult. And there shouldn't be 100% of a group of people that support 100% of every. I mean, it's like, that's a cult, and the reason they put it up there is because CNN. It's like people are like, there's human nature. They don't want Trump constantly attacking them. And it just seemed to me like this gratuitous segment where they were, to me, it was embarrassing. I was embarrassed for them. But it was like, what am I watching? Is this fucking Fox News now? Like, is this what's happening?
Yes.
Is this what we're doing now?
Right,
Everybody's Fox News?
But CNN's new owner is a big Trump person.
I wish I remembered that
the
guy's
brand new
name.
owner of CNN has donated lots and lots of money.
Yeah, it's disgraceful. Let me see. I can't
Sorry,
remember.
I keep getting my throat, so I'm sorry. I keep drinking.
Well, it's okay. The show's almost over in a couple of minutes. We have about 10 minutes. So let's see. What's that? Let me see. Trump, CNN poll. I bet you somebody else grabbed it. 100%. I mean, I just couldn't even believe what I was watching. 100%. Like what the? What?
I forget the guy's name that does that. I totally forget his name.
The Harry. Oh yeah, I
He's
just
been
looked
on
it
there
up.
for
Harry
years.
Enton. Harry Enton.
Time for lefties lose.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that's not it. Let's see. Poll tracking. Let me see. Harry Enton. 100%. I'm just trying to find it. 100% of MAGA support.
Agree, celery. I totally agree.
What?
Celery in the chat.
Oh. What did they say?
I got my thing up so I can see.
Oh,
the chat.
okay.
She says it's scary that CNN, which is a lot older than folks think, is more balanced and we become quite unbalanced after that merger.
I'm trying to find it. Let me see. Harry, I'll look right on YouTube and see if I can find it to play it. Because it really is one for the vomit books. If you have a vomit book. I have a vomit book. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah.
New polling ahead of the midterm.
New polling. I'm just trying to find it. 100% of MAGA Republicans. No, there's like, now I can't tell which is which. There's like 50. Let's see. Harry Enton, CNN poll, MAGA, 100%. Let's see. Oh, here it is. I fucking found it.
How are you seeing MAGA?
Oh, geez. Geez, Louise. 1 second. We'll have it up in less than 30 seconds.
Remind me what his name is, too.
Harry
I can picture his
Enton?
face, but
Harry.
How are you seeing MAGA feel about...
Hold on a second. It's Harry Enton. Harry Enton. Hold on a second. 1 second, everybody. Here we go. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. See? Let me do this. I don't mean to sing in your ear. Alright, here we go. Oh, where is the 100% poll? I thought I had it. Doot doot bump bump. Doot doot. I had it. I swears. Wait a second.
Oh, I know who he is. I see the picture now. I know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah, 35 minutes of running numbers on Trump. Yeah, it should be in there. 35 minutes. Let's see.
They're going to want to retain that, right? So they can retain their seats.
Yes. And you know what we're talking about, we mentioned Iran in the intro of this segment. GOP on U.S. military action in Iran. Look at this. In MAGA, it's 90% approval. It's 90% approval, just 5% disapproval. If you disapprove
it's
of the
it's
job
not even that.
Donald Trump is doing, or excuse me, the U.S. military action in Iran, and you're a member of the GOP, look at this. It's your non-MAGA. You're non-MAGA. It's 36% there, 54% approved. But the majority of Republicans approve of the job that the U.S. military action is in Iran, and the majority of MAGA, which is the majority of the GOP, very
That's
much
not even the one.
Very little split in Donald Trump's base. Those who disapprove in the GOP, simply put, they hate MAGA.
It's really clear. MAGA has...
That's not, I don't know.
That's
how
not
I
even
feel
the one.
about it.
That's not even the one.
Talk to us about how these countries in particular...
The one that I'm talking about had a 100%. It was, and that was the thumbnail of this video. So that's why I thought it was in here. But now I don't find it.
Even people like Chink and Alex Jones and some of these other people, they're not happy with this war. They're coming again. Cal has covered it. They're not happy with this war. So him saying that, I mean, Tucker Carlson, okay, out of everybody, Tucker Carlson is even going against it.
Well, they have no choice, really.
That right there on the approval of this, that's not right, because there are other maggots that have come out that have said that they don't agree with this more.
Mm-hmm.
So where are they getting their polling
Well,
from?
they're saying, yeah, no, I know. I don't know. That's not even, I know
because
what you mean.
if you've got big people in the maggot world, like Alex Jones and Chink, and you've got, what's his name? Chink and Beck and Glenn Beck and what's the other one? Coming out, and they're against this war. That's huge in the maggot world because a lot of people watch them.
Well, that's what I was
even,
saying. You know, I don't know why they shot the fucking thumbnail. Is that 100%? But it's the point was that it's 100. It's of course 100% of MAGA support the war. It's the whole point of this video is to kiss Trump's ass. That's it. That's what that was the point. So I don't know if that's even true.
But it's not like he even knows what's going. It's not even like he knows what's going on because they're showing him cartoons of things going boom.
Right, and they want because they know
he doesn't even know what's going on.
All he does is watch television. That's what another thing that really gets me. I'm like, at a certain point, when is it about us as a species? How much longer are we going to allow this unfit baboon to drag us through his manias, to drag the whole world through?
To be honest with you, I think we got to get the messaging out. We got to win the midterms, and we got to take things back. That's the only way.
Yeah, if we don't
unless
win.
Unless we end up having a quote-unquote civil war with each other.
Well, at that point, I'd like to just secede. Who needs? Forget the Civil War. Fuck it. Just secede already. I'm done. You know.
Well,
I mean, I'm not.
Why don't we just all move to California? You know, maybe find the Democratic states.
Well, we can make a blue state coalition.
The country up. Blue states on one side, red states on the other. See how well. And we draw the line at freaking Texas. So you know why? So freaking Cruz can still stay in Texas, and he can freeze up his stupid state again.
Right. Well, you know, that's what I mean. This is the whole thing. You know, the Republicans, they would never stand for secession because they need our blue state dollars to stay afloat, and they all know it.
Exactly.
They're all the taker states.
They need California.
Mm-hmm,
they need California.
Yeah, they need us. They need the blue states, California, New York, and California is the fourth largest economy now. So, yeah, they need us to keep their poorly run red states going, and I don't know. I just wonder sometimes if we had I mean, I know they were fighting to keep human beings in bondage, but I always wonder. That alternate history, if we had just let them go, and there are actually what we should have done at the end of the Civil War was put Lee in chains and drag him to Leavenworth immediately, and then put him on court-martial and fucking execute him. And with the rest of the Confederates, the rest of the traitors who took up arms against the country, instead we just let them go home and sign a loyalty oath, and that was that. So, and here we are. Because of that, honestly, we have been entirely too kind to conservatives who constantly try to overthrow the government, can't live in a functioning, free democratic society. They hate the kind of system that the founders fought a revolution to create. They just don't like it. They want a system of hierarchy where everyone's in their place and straight, rich white men at the top, and that's it. That's what they want. So, and they just don't want to share.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just moving the thing down.
Didn't mean to be rude. I'm sorry.
No, you're not rude.
If you looked at this last No Kings, if every one of those people,
no tapping though, no tapping.
I'm sorry. If every
Oh,
one of those
wait,
people,
wait, hold on. I hit the wrong button. I'm
it's
sorry.
a habit. I'm sorry. If every one of those people would come out and vote,
Mm-hmm.
every single one of them, okay, and if every one of us would, I mean, even if you've got somebody that's home that can't get out to drive, go and pick them up, take them to the voting, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If we would win this thing. And the one thing that is the best thing about this whole thing is it's not just the United States that's involved in this. Europe and in England especially. I hear from people over in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
They like us. The people over in Europe love the Americans.
Not
They
anymore.
just don't like Trump. They just don't like Trump. I've heard from several people over in Europe. They love us.
Not anymore.
But they can't deal with him. They cannot. The people of America they like. They just don't like Trump.
Not really.
They
No,
don't like
I know.
the government.
I've had reports myself of signs in Paris restaurants that say "No Americans." So, okay,
Well,
that's our oldest ally.
But that will change, and that the reason for that is because of the state of the government. That will change.
Yeah, I know, but I don't blame them.
That will change.
You know, well, it's not going to change overnight. It's not going to change overnight because
no, it's not going to change overnight. No,
we have fucked
to
it.
earn our trust back. We have to earn our trust back as a government. Yeah.
I don't know if that's ever going to be possible. Not in our lifetime.
That's
I mean,
gonna
who the
take
fuck
decades.
knows? Yeah, because how do you allow that? Unless that, and this is what I'm talking about. That's why we should have smashed the Confederacy without mercy and without apology. And because we didn't do that, now we must smash the maggot traitors without apology. And we should have. When I saw January 6th happening, I was sitting in this fucking chair, as always, watching this, and I was pissed off. I couldn't believe that I was watching my fellow Americans trash the citadel of democracy, and I was actually taken aback by how enraged it made me to think that these fuckers were destroying the Capitol and everything that represented. And that the American people, that 72 million Americans voted for that thing after witnessing the same thing I did. I don't know. I don't know if I mean, it's just unforgivable in my estimation. And everything else.
The whole state of the Republican Party is unforgivable.
Yeah.
All of them.
And everything else. Yes, exactly. The fact that even that night, Lindsey Graham, I'm out, huh? It was great. Well, we had it. What was so great about it, you stupid baboon? What was great? Family separation, the million dead, the mass graves, the wearing fucking garbage bags as PPE. That was so great, wasn't it? Because we had a baboon that was telling us to inject bleach and shine a light up our ass to get rid of COVID. Because and that's what we know. We see. They see the other side when he's not on camera, and they see the unredacted. They have security clearance. They see what he really is like. They know he's in cahoots with the Russians, and he's a fucking spy magnet, and Maramoron is crawling with spies, and he stole classified documents, and he tried to steal the election, and they voted for him again. He's their standard bearer. This is it really is unforgivable. So what did
he do that was great that you keep voting for him? What is it that's so great?
Exactly. It's the racism. It's because they vote for him because of propaganda. Studies show. I don't even have to tell you. Human beings are storytellers. This is why every authoritarian movement begins with taking over the means of. They take over the. Newspapers, they take over the radio, they take over. That's how the Nazis started. One of the first things they did when they started building from a bunch of fucking losers in a bar, as they were and continued to be. But they bought they had a rich benefactor who bought a newspaper that was struggling, and that became their I think it was De Sturmer. Maybe it was the earlier one.
Didn't they buy a television, like a station that Hitler went on, and they recorded him? Because there's video of him talking like he's talking to the press.
Well, they did do. There wasn't a I don't know anything about them buying a station, and this was in the 30s. I mean, they really weren't,
right.
TV.
But did they buy like something like that? Because they always, whenever he went on, just like Orange Asshat.
Well, there were radios.
Goes on, right? Radio, and then when they started film and started being able to use a camera, they did
that
film
was different.
Him a lot.
They had that Triumph of the Will, the famous movie that they made about the Nazi movement or whatever. Yes, Leni Riefenstahl, but they after Hitler took power, everybody had to have a radio. In fact, they manufactured radios. They called it the People's Radio, and it was instigated or implemented by Goebbels, who knew that they needed to pump propaganda into everybody's homes. That's why they did it. It wasn't like, look at us, we're so economically modern, but that was the message they were giving out, because before that, as you know, the reason why the Nazis took power was because the German economy was in the shitter, and that was a sign of a rebound. Oh wow, a couple of years ago we couldn't find a job, now everybody has a radio. But that was all part of their sinister plot to poison people's heads. And of course, Jews were not allowed to have one of these people's radios. So, yeah. And other things when I think about what they did.
No, just like it's happening today.
Well,
Same
I mean,
thing.
the Jews, they weren't allowed to have pets at a certain point. So, it's the whole thing. Only because, and they weren't allowed to have bicycles. They weren't allowed to, their freedom. And it was all in preparation for extermination, ultimately, because you're not going to let them have pets, because what are you going to do with the pets when you take them away? So, just don't let them have pets, and then we'll, take them away. So, it's the whole thing. Yeah, it's fucked up. But, all right, it's the end of the show, and I have to go because my ass hurts. I'm sitting in this chair for fucking 18 hours now.
Oh, my gosh, lady.
Well, I mean, since this morning.
Look at the baby.
It's Tara Jr. Tara
Hi,
Jr.
Tara Jr. Look at those eyes. Oh, my gosh.
He's my old cranky man. He's a good boy.
Yeah, my Houdini went under the bed, but April's over here giving me this stink eye over here.
Aw. And look at that. Boston Brian, thank you for your super chat supporting the movement. Nice to see you, my friend. And Bingo, thank you for your super chat. And thank you for your super chat, JD.
Hi, everybody.
JD in pounds. JD is our friend from England. Thank you. He's a lucky bastard.
Yeah, JD's in a lot of in a lot of chats.
Oh, now you telling me he's cheating on me? You saying? I'm just kidding. JD, thank you. There's two JDs. Thank you for your super chat.
JD Christie. Yeah,
yes.
JD Christie.
Thank you. And thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Pam. And thank you, Jim, for being a moderator. Thank you, Susie, for being a moderator. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight. And, yeah, I'm going to go get unconscious now and dream the impossible dream.
Thank you, my friend, for having me on.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you. Very interesting conversation.
We always have such good... Yep,
yes.
After we're off the show, we always... if you could hear our conversations we have on the phone.
Right,
because we get into some good conversations.
Yes, definitely. And, well, when you make that liberal network, I better be on at prime time. I'm
Well,
just
of
kidding.
course. I'm just saying, I think that's where we need to be if we're going to beat them at their own game. We
Well,
might as well
I mean,
get there,
it's
you know?
such, yes,
Just
yes.
an idea.
No, I hear you, but I have a fear that you become the monster that you're trying not to be.
Yeah, but I think we're smarter than that.
Well, it depends
a
on who's
whole,
in leadership,
Right,
So,
as a whole. I mean, there's a lot of great minds out there that are in, free speech and political voices and spoutable. There's, you've got some pretty, good, people at Substack. You've got some really good. If they weren't, they wouldn't have created, all of these things. Blue Sky, they wouldn't have created these things in mind for us Democrats.
who is? But I don't know the story of Substack. Who created it? I don't know anything about it really.
But I'm saying those has gotten us our independence away from corporate media.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, thank
that
goodness.
they've helped us get our independence away from that.
Thank goodness,
I
because
just-
we'd be even
Yep.
in worse shape. But the whole thing is the problem is the silos of information. That's really the problem. So
Right.
it is. There's even that, but I mean, it's not hopeless. So I just because we're still able to speak and speak about this regime, it's not completely a lost cause yet.
No,
So
not
we
yet.
do, and he does lose. That's the other thing. He is on a he is on a losing streak in the courts. That's why, as you see, they're now attacking the courts. Even what's his name?
Right.
The fucking the one who gave Ghislaine Maxwell her cushy digs. The one who's might be AG. What's his name? His name is escaping me. The number 2 at the Todd Blanche, right?
Right.
He was at CPAC this week, and which he shouldn't be.
Right.
He's the assistant attorney general, supposed to be
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with law. CPAC doesn't.
well, and he's supposed to be nonpartisan, just like the corrupt and illegitimate Supreme Court conservatives go to
Right.
all of these political events, which they shouldn't. And this is what maggots do. And he was at CPAC going off on judges, on activist judges, radical judges. But they, as you know, when I said the activist judges, Republicans have been railing against the activist judges for decades. Now it's on overdrive where judges are losing their lives. And now these maggots they threaten judges all the time. They send, as you know, they send pizzas to their houses as a message. Oh, we know where you live. And it's a threat. And so they're attacking the judges because the judiciary has been slapping down the baboons' illegal and unconstitutional attempts to destroy America left and right. He's been losing in the courts. So, of course, they attack the courts, just like he attacked the media. Every pillar of democracy. And that's why, the Republican Party has got to go the way of the Whigs. They are irredeemable. And, when Nancy Pelosi for years would say, take back your party, the American people need a Republican Party that's done so much good for America. Of course, everybody on the show knows I would scream my head off because they haven't done a fucking thing for America, and we don't need a Republican Party.
Right.
Because what would happen when they go the way of the Whigs is that the Democratic Party would naturally break up into factions of more conservative, more the corporate wing and the more working class wing, and we would all agree on democracy, that we want a functioning government, and that would be a good thing. So the Republican Party needs to fuck off into history's trash bin, and we need to just continue trying to make this grand experiment in liberal democracy work, I think.
Well, just remember, everything Trump touches dies.
And now he's got his
I'm
puny
just saying.
hands Yeah, now he's got his clutches on the American experiment, on the body politic,
Right.
and he's choking the life out of us. So, yeah, God, I keep waiting for that great getting up morning. I actually, I saw a short today, and somebody posted, it was like, have they gone too far? And it was an AI video. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Yes,
I got
perfect.
that from Texas Paul.
Yes, is he dead yet? For people who are listening, audio only, it's a mug. That's it.
That's
Is
the
he
first
dead yet?
thing. The first
Yeah.
thing, I turn my phone off at night, and so I don't hear anything, so I can like get some peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, one of these days, I know
Yeah.
everybody's gonna be texting me. Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the
No, I
world's
can't
gonna
wait.
have the biggest damn party
It's
there.
gonna
has
be
ever
great. It's gonna be great. And I don't want to hear, oh, decorum for the office of the, or you're look at these tolerant liberals, they're terrible. Fuck you. You know, this is a guy
Decorum.
that celebrated Rob Reiner. He said, I'm glad that Robert Mueller is dead. What a piece of shit he
Yeah,
is.
and who did they not? Who was it that just recently died that had been in Congress? They wouldn't even let that person go in to be sit in the rotunda. Oh, sorry, in the rotunda. I forget which congressman that was.
I don't remember, but
he
Jesse
said no.
Jackson. He said he fucking
Right,
didn't
and Jesse
even.
Jackson.
Yeah, no, I mean, so, but I said the short that I saw was Trump's face. It was AI. It was like a medium shot of Trump, and then it was a body bag zipping up, and it said, somebody wrote, has this gone too far? And I loved the comments. I was reading the comments, and people were like, oh, I'll race you to the zipper, and like things like they should sell tickets. They should have a raffle for who can be the zipper person, and it was it was good.
There's somebody that I follow on Instagram, and every morning she wakes up, well, Izzy?
Oh, I know.
She goes,
it's
"Oh,
so
shit.
disappointing. And then when
He's still here.
Right, and then when I see that a celebrity or someone that I like or whatever pass away, I think, oh, those poor bastards. They didn't get to see the death of the baboon. Yeah. And my friend, I have a very dear friend, Michael Miller, who passed away a couple of years ago now. Yeah, and I miss him every day. And he would have loved that, and and that's, I'm very sorry that he didn't see
it.
That.
Makes me sad that Rob Reiner isn't here to get to see
that. Yeah,
that got to see the No Kings, got to be a part of the No Kings.
Oh yeah,
got to,
yeah,
because he was such an activist.
Right, that's what I mean. It's just sucks. So, all right, let me go, because I gotta get unconscious one of these days, and I have to get up early actually to feed some community cats. So, my friend is on vacation. She usually takes care of them on the weekends, and on Saturday, I should say. I go on Sundays, but it's just I gotta do it in the morning, and because there's a very long day tomorrow. So, thank you, Pam, for your super chat under the radar here. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you. Every morning. Exactly, Pam. We wait every morning. That great getting up morning. Right? That's what I call it. And it will be there will be dancing in the streets.
Oh,
I won't even have to look at my phone. I bet you all of a sudden I'll hear like, yay! I'll just hear cheers. And I'll look out and I'll see people dancing like it's the end of World War II. There'll be, sailors grabbing a woman.
Confetti everywhere.
It'll be like Times Square. We'll all gather in Times Square. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, man.
Yes, that will happen. We will all gather in Times Square. I bet you that's what. Oh, please.
We'll have a no kings after party.
And then the Republic, it'll be on Fox News. It'll be like, oh, how vile! Look at this. They're all in Times Square celebrating. But that's what's going to happen. It will be like the end of World War II, and Fox News will fucking have a shit fit. And then they'll start trying to name everything after him, but that's why we will have to.
Now.
No, I know, and it will only get amplified. They'll try to put statues. They'll try to do, and we will. By the time we are done. Well, by the time he's done, and I have said this for years. Mark my words, and we'll end with this: that when one day in the not too distant future, those who cheered Trump will only speak of it in shamed whispers. Mark my words, that day will come. That day will come.
I agree with you.
Right?
I agree.
All right, Andrea, thank you so much. Andrea Brower,
bye,
associate producer of the Hal Sparks Show, the great Hal Sparks Show, the great Andrea Brower. Thank you so much for hanging out. Where can we find you, Andrea? Do you want people to follow you and stuff? Bye? What do you mean bye? I asked you a question.
I'm on all social media under ADM Florida Girl 38 in Andrea.
All right.
I'm on Substack, Instagram.
Right.
You'll see me in the chat moderating on probably almost everything.
Yes.
And
exactly. And Tarabuster. So you see.
And Tarabusters on Fridays. And during the week when I can. Today was a busy week, busy day. And you can also see me on Blue Sky.
Okay. Blue Sky.
Doing promos.
Oh, good.
It's under the same thing. They're all under ADM Florida Girl 38.
All right. Well, very good. I hope you can promo my show one of these days.
I definitely will. I did the heck out of it today and yesterday.
Ah, very nice. I was up to my wazoo today, so that's why I've been sitting in this fucking chair. I can't wait to put my feet up and just do nothing. Go get unconscious. So, all right, my love. Thank you for hanging out.
Alrighty.
Let's do it again.
All right.
We'll talk soon. Yes. I'll see you later. Good night. All right, guys. See you soon, Andrea. I'm just going to wrap up. See you. Okay. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, guys, for hanging out every Friday. We have a show on Tuesday, of course. Remember, we will win. And I want to thank Charlie from APS Radio News. I'm sorry, Charlie, when Andrea was saying the radio, I was thinking like WABC, like my father used to listen to. So I was confused. But yes, APS Radio and APS Radio News. Check out Charlie's channel, APS Radio. Download the little app. Listen to classic rock and oldies all day long. Thank you, Charlie. And yes, thank you, Charlie, for sending me that article. Maybe we'll do that on Tuesday. We'll see what happens. Maybe the Great Getting Up Morning will be before then, though. And then we'll have that to talk about at least. All right, my loves. Yes, subscribe to my Substack. It's up there in the corner. Thank you, everybody, for your support. The more Substack subscribers we get and the more subscribers we get on YouTube and everywhere, the bigger the show gets, the bigger we can get more guests and get more, we just get more better, more bigger and better, right? Ow! Do you see what I'm saying? My fucking cat, Tara Jr., I don't like that part. He like bites my hands when I am expressive. He just doesn't like it. He's very controlling. I love you. Look at him. Look how good he is when he is not biting my hands. And then he bites the microphone. I mean, there's no pleasing him. And, all right, guys, yes. All right, subscribe. You know what to fucking do. You know what to do. We will win. Remember, we will win. We will. Right, Junior? Because we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together, we win. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Thank you, Andrea, for hanging out. My name is Tara Devlin, and I will see you soon.